Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jules. My pronouns are he, him. I am a commercial food photographer and stylist and soon to be published cookbook author. And today we are doing May flip through of my Jibun Techo diary plus days. We're going to start off in the diary and with my monthly section. I'm not going to spend too much time in the diary book. I'm just going to do a quick overview of how I use my diary for the people who are new here, and just to show any important things that I've noted in this section that happened in May for people who have been watching my channel for a while now. So, to recap, I use this section to list things that I would like to accomplish in May that do not have, or in the month, I should say, not just specifically May, but in the month, things I would like to accomplish that do not have a due date. And that could, if I can't accomplish them this month, no big deal. I can move them on or move it forward to the next month. Then I use the calendar as an overview to track specific type of work I have to do. Like these days were set aside for doing editing on my cookbook, deadlines, medical appointments, meetings that I have, other things going on that I want to make sure that when I'm looking at my month in advance, I know what days already have some stuff in them, so I can figure out a plan for how I allot time during the week accordingly. Also days off, stuff like that. So that's my month in advance. It's a pretty typical standard month view. And then we get to the weeks. This is like all April, the first day of May. Again, if you're new, Sundays I always block off because Sundays are a personal day that I spend time with family and I don't do anything work related, and so I just block it off to make sure that I do not do anything, like to be an actual reminder that, hey, Sundays are for completely dedicated to personal time. Since I use my Jibun Techo for both personal tracking of stuff and business tracking of stuff, so it's a mesh. And then when we get to the weeks, my weeks are time blocks. They're not individual tasks. It's I track how I spent my time during the day, what type of tasks are basically happened. This column is to-dos, things I would like to do during the week that do not have a deadline. Again, could easily be moved if they don't happen. And then down here is where I track things that I want to photograph for a personal photography project that I'm working on. And like these to-dos, if these do not happen, it is no big deal. This is all dependent on how much energy I have, if any emergencies come up, whatever. This is on top of my regular work things I would like to accomplish. I use this top section to write down my priority for the week or something I really need to focus on. This next section between midnight and 6 a.m. is color-coded based off of, like if it's an admin day, that has a specific color. Days that I'm shooting for clients, those have specific colors. And so it's basically color-coded, plus I make note of important things that happen that day or will be happening, like birthdays, so that I know that there are things noted in the day section to refer back to later if I need to. It's just kind of acts like an index as well. Then this next section between 6 and 8 a.m., that is where I put things like that I need to remember, either like deadlines, things that are due, get a different color than this color. This is all personal things happening this week. When deliveries are happening, when I have to renew prescriptions, stuff like that. Then the first 2 hours of my workday, That's always dedicated to continuing education and prepping for my day. Then I take an hour break for breakfast, and then my workday begins until 6 p.m. And again, this is just like keeping track of the overall work category of how I spent my day. So this was like cooking and recipe development. Then I had my break, and then I did some photography, and then I did some self-care because I was tired. I had a meeting this day. That's whole meeting, and then I decompressed. Oh, and then I had another meeting there. This was all over the place: meeting, writing, admin, recipe dev, break, shoot, admin, image edit, admin, and then my evening start. Track what days of exercising, what I'm watching, and what my partner and I are watching. And the reason why I track my time this way, is all color coded, is so that when I need to bid on a job for work, or if I need to figure out how much time is going to spend me, or how much time I need to spend doing some specific tasks, I can look back and see easily at a glance, because it's all color coded, exactly how much time I'm spending on specific tasks. And it just helps me future plan things by knowing how much time I've spent in the past on or bidding on a job. Things I want to remember, I use this section for the day. And then this bottom section is for tracking how many spoons I have. I'm a spoonie, and I assess my body at 10 a.m., 2 p.m., and 6 p.m. to see what my energy is, and I plan my tasks accordingly. So I really don't, I will make a to-do list at the beginning of the day, but it's not something that is written in stone, because it's all my to-do list is determined based off of how much energy I have. The goal is to end the day with at least 2 spoons or 1 spoon. 2 spoons ideally. Some days I'm successful, some days I'm not. When I'm not successful, that means I need to re-examine my day and figure out where I overworked or where I overspent my energy, so that I can adjust the following week accordingly. And that's another reason why I do time blocks. And then I use stickers to decorate things, because I like decorative. So, yeah, there was nothing really exciting to announce. Like, there's nothing that I really want to draw everyone's attention to. It's just a regular week. And this week is actually when I got my copy edits returned from my editor. And this week was not as chaotic. I got to spend more time, like larger blocks of time, doing admin work. And it wasn't a days like this Monday where it's like every hour I'm doing a different type of task. I was able to spend longer blocks of time dedicated to just admin work or whatever. And then also, I made notes of like broken sleep, or I made a note because my resting heart rate had jumped significantly, and so I was trying to like figure out what is happening. And so it was just I just made this note, so when I was tracking other things in my Fitbit sense, to be able to see if something happened either in my week or whatever to cause my heart rate to suddenly increase, despite medication that I have to regulate my heart rate, because I have POTS as one of my many disabilities. POTS is one of them. Then the next week this week nearly wrecked me. My priority for this week was edits, and these are all brown because all I was doing was writing and editing. Well, editing really. But I was spending like a lot of time in my edits. Like on the Friday, I edited for 6 hours straight. Not straight, because I took a break, but 6 hours. And that's a lot of editing. I mean, that is way more than is should be allowed. And so I was noting on my live plan with me on the Saturday that it, like, this week wipes me out, and that's when we came up with a plan to that would dedicate the mornings to my copy editing, mindful that Monday was a holiday. This Thursday I had my yearly MRI on my spinal cord tumor, and so I was like, this day was going to be blocked off for self-care because autistic and MRI thumping do not go well. So I needed the full day to decompress. And I also had a migraine all that week and difficulty sleeping, and I was all at once. So that's something that I needed to be mindful going into, like, having all this information helps me plan the next coming week, which is, like, we're going into June on the next week, and to be able to plan to be able to plan accordingly, and it just having this information at a glance helps me to figure out what I want to do. And I just made a note in this to-do to only edit in the morning. So that's my week section. Nothing has changed. It's the same old, and it's just really nice to be able to have. It's still really nice to be able to have this type of information at a glance, so I can figure out really easily why my energy may be going amiss, or why I'm suddenly having nightmares, or whatever. I can look to see, like, oh, well, here's a thing that I could possibly tweak to make my time and my health better. So now we're going to get into the daily section. So the months, I've started to use that to track which days we are making dog food, when any medication changes, days that I'm also tracking days that I did edits on my cookbook, because I have to track that for grant purposes, when I need to renew medication. So this is more personal stuff at a glance, or reminders, whereas this monthly is dedicated to business and appointments. And then here is the beginning of May. So the section I use this month's goals or themes was copy edits. Things that I wanted to do in May were a no spend and find more time to upkeep my planners. Things I have to do are copy edits. Word for this month was flow, and this means like going with the flow, finding my flow, and yeah, just being in the stream. What I was able to do, and then at the end of every month, I look back and I update it. So what I was able to do my copy edits and no spend. What I couldn't do, I couldn't find more time to upkeep my planners, and that was because of my OCD. The copy edits really triggered my OCD, and I got into some pretty unhealthy behaviors because of it. And so it was important that I track that. Like, what I reflected on was ways to better manage my OCD. And that's when I came up with, or it wasn't me who suggested it, was actually one of my viewers in the live plan with me, Anomik, who suggested that I limit my editing to the morning and take the afternoons off to give my brain that needed extra time to shut off, because I was having a really difficult time not obsessing over my copy edits. And another thing that happened was, like, halfway through them, I was like 95% complete, and my brain decided that there was a much better way to do the edits, like as a procedurally, that would have been more efficient and more conducive to like order in chaos. And I almost threw away, like put in my garbage bin and deleted all the edits and restarted from fresh, because my OCD is like, no, you did it wrong, and so it's not going to be like, anyways, it was bad. What I did, there was nothing. I mean, edits is what people I met nobody and me because I was too busy doing edits. Where I went, nowhere. What I bought, nothing because it was a no spin. And what I learned, I mean, there's probably something I learned in May, but I was so in the muck of my edits that I remember, like, I don't remember anything really from May that happened because I got lost. Sundays, I use Sundays to journal about my week, and because I don't have anything planned on Sundays, so Sunday is a reflection of my week, and I decorate that accordingly. And by accordingly, I mean I just add some deco to it because I like to fill it up. And then my daily pages in the days. This is like the to-do list. And then this is like appointments and things I have to do specifically, like time blocks. But sometimes I add more details, like more specific details here, than what is in the week section in the diary. And then any blank pages I like to decorate. I also like to print off the images that I post for my personal photography food days project. And so I print those off and put them in here as well. And then these days, so this was cook day and recipe development day. And so I tape vellum to extend the pages, and sometimes I do a double fold, or like there's a single fold when it's only just one thing. Sometimes there will be like sketches of my shoots and prop lists and everything, so I'll need to even extend this even more. So it's vellum, and I just tape it in and tape my recipes and other things that I need that will not fit in these pages. And usually when I have days that I have to extend my pages, I do not decorate those pages because there's no point in decorating something that's just going to be covered up with this other stuff. And that reminds me of how for you, those of you who are new, at the very beginning, I also add into this section, it's like an index, where I can find recipes and photo shoot information and other things that I will need to refer back to at a later time. I like this. This is Saturdays, and Saturdays I really don't do anything. I exercise, life plan with me. Some days it's a dog food making day. So I was playing with like layering this section up here. And then unable to keep his thoughts to himself any longer. I kind of found that fitting because I do a lot of brain vomiting. Cerebral regurgitation is what I like to call it. Rumination in my life plan with me, and I give like talk about shows that I'm watching and whatever as we plan or journal or art or whatever it is you decide to do. And I just this sticker was appropriate for that day. I really like this spread. And it just, new edit schedule is quicker. There's just to make some notes of some things that happened. So I used a mix of like just journaling and also taping in different notes to write on. I also like this. So this washi, I bought off of Amazon. A lot of these stickers are this and this and this are from Sticky Club. And these are all things that I ordered from Shein. And I have a Shein unboxing video that I will put right here if you haven't watched it yet. So everything in here is either from Shein, Sticky Club, Amazon, which I'm not using anymore, and I explain why in my Shein Unboxing Club, or I have some washing here from time to time from an Etsy shop called The Illuminating Box. Then here's some more. This was some shrimp that I had to shoot. Another recipe. Why I posted. I don't know why I put this calendar here. Oh, because I started my edits. Oh no, that was moved. I was supposed to get my edits that day. That's why I laid it down. I had a lot of hurrying up and waiting that day. And I just thought the sticker was appropriate because I had the cookbook on it. These stamps are from your Creative Studio box subscription that I'm no longer doing. This I cut off. This is also like one of those big, huge A5 sheets of paper, and I think this is actually from a set that I purchased from Shein. These that you see at the top of my journals quite often are from like these things that you can buy off of both Amazon and Shein. This one, okay, so I got my copy edits. This is a stamp set that I got off of Shein. And I also, because I started my edits on this day, so the scissors like copy paste. I just thought it was conducive to getting the edits. And this is because of I didn't really journal all that much. And so it's just a lot of decorating on the Sunday, like word things, things to kind of call back to the fact that I was deep into the edits of my book. And it's more of the same. Nothing really exciting to show you. Some decoration. Maybe some of these will give you some ideas. I really like this page. There was nothing happening because Saturday. I'm working on a course that I will be able to tell you all about on my live plan with me. At some point, I'll be able to announce that. But I just really these butterflies are from the February Your Creative Studio box. But the rest of the stuff is Shein. I just like the spread. I was able to color coordinate it quite nicely. And this is a Sunday. Still stuck in my copy edits. I think the week before, yeah. And this is a holiday. It was Victoria Day. Which is celebrating because Canada became confederated while Queen Victoria was the queen, and so we celebrate her birthday. And the queen bee. So I just decorated this day with some queen type stuff because I liked it. I like the spread as well, and some more of the same. So every now and then too, I like to tip in a notepad and like write like a little mini journal, something I want to remember on the day. This is from Sticky, and I was still stuck in copy edits, and because like there was not, I kind of lost the ability to do decorating, not just because I could not get my brain to transition from copy edits to, which are very formulaic and very analytical, and you have to pay really close attention to what you're doing, to this, which is a different part of my brain. And I just had a hard time making the transition some days, so there's just very minimal decorations in place. And then I like this spread. So I just took, this is a Tombow brush pen to color this in. All these stickers, there's one for the sun, the 9 planets, because they're counting Pluto as a planet. And so I decided to do something that was kind of thematic for the 2 pages, but not really all that much. And then, oh, here's the last 2 days of the month. So that is the day. Not really all that much exciting. But hopefully, like, going through this gave you some ideas of either how to use your day if you're not, or just some different ideas on how to decorate things, how to mix functional planning with decorative planning, how to mix your journaling and your work together. This is just how I do it. So that is my May. If you have any questions or comments, let me know in the comment section below, and I'd be happy to answer them. If you have any specific videos that you would like me to make that either have to do with my Jibun Techo or how I use the Hobonichi Cousin as a project planner, let me know that as well, and I'd be happy to do that. Otherwise, join me every single Saturday at 1 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. British Daylight Time, GMT in the fall, for a live plan with me, where for an hour and a half we sit and we chat and we either plan our week, or we journal, or we do art, or whatever you want to do for an hour and a half on your Saturday. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, bye.